Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mike. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for sending me show tips. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, be part of the channel, and don't forget to watch last Mike in the Night with God Rules here. And don't forget to turn on your reminders for upcoming shows. So, send your tips to Instagram. If you got some time, message me on Instagram or send me show tips on Instagram. Now, speaking of Instagram, we got a gentleman here named Elijah Schaffer is saying, good to see DC packed with supporters of the most popular president in American history. Kind of looks like a Chinese parliament victory there. That's what it looks like there. The overflowing joy of the joy of and universal reception of this president, guarded by 25,000 troop armored vehicles and miles of impenetrable walls, is beautiful. So there it is, right there. I mean, why are they opening up the joy, the love, and the? I don't understand, especially if he got as many votes that he got. I mean, everybody would be in favor of, like, it doesn't make any sense. So somebody comments here and says, no one's there, just like the rallies. Woo! Anyways, let's move on. So let's just close these off here, because these are empty streets, thousands of troops in Washington as Biden prepares to become the U.S. president. So this was earlier today. Washington braced for a tense inauguration of U.S. President-elect Joe Biden on Wednesday, as more than 25,000 National Guard's troops stood watch over a barricaded city. Man, even Castro or when I was visiting Cuba, I visited Cuba for vacation and stuff. And you guys, I mean, Castro, was on the news, right? Like, on a semi-daily basis, right? But he was on the streets, walking around with people, holding their hands, talking to mothers, talking to kids, kissing children. And it's like he was on an election or something. Like, he was running for parliament, but he wasn't. He was actually out. And I never seen anybody of such a high public figure just randomly go out. I'm like, okay, where's all these bodyguards? I'm like, it's just people surrounding him and talking to him and asking questions, and everyone's standing around, shaking hands, visiting schools. It's really weird how you would think that a president that has so much love and so much support and votes, that people would actually defend him, not using the National Guard, but the people, the love for him would defend him. I don't understand, guys. So there it is, right there. Let's X this one off. Let's move on. Abbott says he finds vetting of Texas National Guard ahead of inauguration offensive. So Texas sent some National Guard down, and basically right here, there are approximately 25,000 National Guard members in Washington to secure the inauguration, including about 1,000 from Texas, in response to the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. The deadly! No one's talking about the massive burn down of Wisconsin, Oregon, Washington State, Seattle. Look it up, because in the future, a lot of that will be rewritten into history in favor of the narrative that we're going to be dealing with 100 years from now. I feel sorry for our grandkids 100 years from now, because the narratives are going to keep changing as they go, right? So, and none of us will be alive to dispute it, and probably most of these videos won't even exist by then. So, Abbott wrote he would deploy the Texas National Guard to Washington again if they vetted ahead of the if they are vetted ahead of the inauguration. So they are basically remember, Texas is the Lone Star State, and I say, like, Texas should look at secession, because the idea of the union isn't working out. China official farewell to Trump. Good riddance. Beijing did not hold back in an official statement at the conclusion of Trump administration, calling Pompeo doomsday clown. So there it is. China is bad news. Now, you thought things were bad with China, but we know when Trump was bringing up what was going on. Look at Australia, what they're going through with sanctions from China. Look at all these countries and what they're dealing with China. Look at Canada. Canada's become an autonomous region of China. I'm not going to argue it. It is. So, very interesting to see where things are going to be headed now in the next couple of years. And guys, I predicted Amerifornia. I labeled that word Amerifornia. Look it up and see what Amerifornia means, because it's coming across America. Amerifornia. You're going to have Texifornia. You're going to have Floridafornia. You're going to have all kinds of fornias across America, because everything's going to turn out to look like California in the end. So that's what's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong, but now with the new administration, I don't think they have much of a choice but to start exporting homes to China. And I'm not talking about mailing out homes or sending them by boat, but actually building homes for investors to come in and buy them, just like Canada, just like the UK, just like New Zealand, and just like in Australia. Welcome, Amerifornia, to the gang. So there it is. So there you go. China's winning now. China is winning big time. California households owe $1 billion in water bills as affordability crisis worsens. One in every 8 households owes water debt. Survey shows with Black, Latino, and neighborhoods are more likely in the rears. So what is going on with that? Well, that's what's happening right now. And a survey by the state Water Board found that 1.6 million households are behind on their water bill payments. The average debt is 500, but 155,000 or so households are in trouble. More than 1,000 each, accounting for half of the total debt. So there it is, man. And then they gotta throw in COVID. You gotta throw in COVID in there. COVID needs to get thrown in there somehow, because they need to find the blame game. COVID. What isn't California? California, wake up. Do it, Canada. Canada Socialist. Canadian Socialist Party. Why don't they do what Canada's doing? Charge people more that could afford to pay more for electricity and water, and charge less to people that can't. Canada's doing that. They should start becoming more and more like that. That's a good thing to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm against it because I'm just paying more and more. I pay $300 for my natural gas bill every month to heat my house. So, I mean, there it goes right there. So, yep. So they're going to find ways to make sure that other people can't, everybody could afford it. After man's death, Quebec Premier says no to curfew exception, claiming others would pose as homeless. So people apparently are posing as homeless in Quebec so they could be out against curfew, and one man died and froze to death. Raphael Andre, 51, was found frozen on Sunday morning inside a porta potty near the shelter of Park Avenue. He's been keeping warm during the day. The Quebec's coroner's office is investigating his death. Really sad. Prayers go out to him and his family. Really sad to hear stuff like that. Mutant fear. Mutant. Is it the X-Men? I mean, are mutants starting to start to take notice? No. Germany discovers another mutant COVID strain different to UK and South African variants. Just when you thought this was going to go away, it's never going to go away. And what they're going to do 2-3 generations from now, the common flu is going to be now something, a strain. Oh my God, you're coughing? Get over here, get a vaccine. You shouldn't be coughing. People normally never get sick like this around this time. But they're going to be changing. They're going to be changing the narratives. They're going to be changing the way we think. They're going to be changing everything. So let's keep going. So there it is. Oh my goodness. Let's move on. Canada needs to prepare for rare but serious health problems resulting from the vaccination. Before YouTube flags that, that's from the Globe and Mail. That's actually from our bought and paid media here in Canada. State-run media. So there it is. Canada needs to prepare for rare but serious health problems resulting from vaccination. And MIT nanonologist arrested for hiding his ties to China. There's Chinese spies everywhere and working for the Chinese government. And a professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology who directs the university micro nano engineering laboratory and its solid state solar thermal energy conversion center was arrested on the 14th of January for allegedly failing to report his ties to the Chinese government and grant fund. So there it is. Gang Chen has been charged with wire fraud as well as not filing a report on a foreign bank account in China. So this was still under the Trump administration. He might be go back to work now with Biden. So this might blow over real quietly. So like it never happened, right? So let's keep going here. Cyber chairman, we're not sure if someone can transmit the virus after the vaccination. So why are you taking the virus for? Why are you taking the why are you taking the virus for? Because they're giving you the virus in the vaccine, right? So there it is. The UK became the first country to approve Pfizer's vaccine this week. with the first round of immunizations expected to roll out next week. A list of interview highlights released before the special halt asked Barola, even though I've had the protection, am I still able to transmit it to other people? So you can still get it. So what's the point of this? Well, it's follow the money, guys. High decibel social distancing dog collars for factory workers are deployed. So now what's happening is they have these dog collars now. So you got to wear these dog collars on you when you're working. So what happens is it starts to beep if you get close to somebody. So there it is. If you get close to form a resistance, or you get close, because a lot of these resistances and a lot of these, like people going against the narrative or going against what their governments are planning for them, was usually just in coffee houses and bars and stuff, where people, now, getting rid of all this, it's gonna save lives, right? So there it is, dog collar beeping, 1984. And what's this from the London Press? Girl 13 organizes anti-lockdown rallies in London in Woodstock. So there's a problem with this. The mainstream media is going to spin this as a pro-Trump rally in London. That's usually what they do. They always do that. So 13-year-old girls organizing anti-lockdown rallies in southwestern Ontario this month, despite Ontario's emergency COVID-19. So this is actually Ontario, Ontario, Canada, London, Ontario. I thought this was England. I'm sorry. So that's that right there. And because right now in England, they're doing anti-freedom of speech right now, by the way. Watch yesterday's show. Get the latest scoop and stay in the loop. So what is this? New law makes all Nova Scotia residents organ donors. So if you live in the province of Nova Scotia, Canada, you are now an organ donor, according to the law. The province of Nova Scotia has made it law on Monday that the new default consent for organ donation is presumed for all of its residents. There you go, guys. New York congressman who got vaccinated diagnosed with COVID. Poor guy. Poor guy. Maybe he needs another round. Maybe, I think you got to get a second and a third round from what I heard. Mainstream media was saying. Norway denies direct link between deaths of 33 elderly people and the whatever COVID vaccine they received. So there it is right there. So more and more people have been passing away from the vaccine that has to be kept frozen at like minus 1,000,000 degrees. And I put this up on our channel here under community. How much longer is this going to go on for? Now, look at this. Number 9 trending on YouTube. Now, look how many dislikes it has, and the comments are turned off. So usually when I used to discuss or correspond with YouTube, they would tell me if your channel has more X amount of dislikes, like I think 3 or 4% dislikes, it gets off the trend. It won't trend. And if your comments are disabled, it automatically will never trend because you're not allowing people to participate in the discussion. So here it is here. Number 9 trending. There it is. There it is. And there it is. How long? And I wrote, and people commented on here what they think about what the heck is going on here. So let's move on. More. BC government advisor with stark warning COVID variants will bring stronger lockdowns. So there's going to be more lockdowns. So people are wondering, Mike, what about all the people like the private sector, the mom and pops businesses? How are they going to fund the public sector? Well, you got to remember that mandatory or essential business is construction. Canada's still exporting homes to China. They're building homes on our land and then selling them to Chinese people. That's what they're doing. They're exporting homes. That's all they're doing. That's a major, it makes up 80% of our economy. So people going to work, small business, and making a life for themselves really isn't doing anything much more for the government anymore. So let's take a look at that. So again, there you go, guys. There you go. BC government advisor with stark warning COVID variants will bring stronger lockdowns. So sad. And it looks like Merkel's finished. Laschet declared new CDU leader as German chancellor steps down. And Angela Merkel's facing the end of her political career as the helm of Germany, with more than 1,000 members, with more than 1,000 members of her Christian Democratic Union party voting on a new leader. With Armin Laschet, chairman North Rhine, was the emerging victorious. You like how I read that word there with blah, 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 blah. So there it is right there. So what is it game over for Merkel? Is she gonna? I think that they're gonna be on those world boards. These people never give up. They stay around. Covey, fitness industry frustrated as city of Winnipeg employee gyms remain open. So the city is frustrated, and again, gyms are private sector. Now I'm hearing that gyms that close down, governments are looking to create a public sector gym, free gyms. That's what I've been hearing through the grapevine. Oh, our local gym closed. It's okay. Government's going to come in, buy it up for pennies on the dollar, and reopen as a government institution, regulating laws, rules, distancing. I've heard that through the grapevine 2 weeks ago. Just thought I'd let you know. And let's keep going here. Ontario has a stay-at-home order, so why aren't 5 movies filming in Hamilton? Again, economy. Housing, movies, stuff like that is economy. And they're always going to be filming movies in Canada, especially when there's no orders against them. Flu season has been stopped in its tracks this winter. I haven't got, but I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I did get a little sick this year. I did get the flu this year, and it's gone. My whole family got it. We all got it. We all got the flu this year, secretly. So flu season is dead in its tracks. I wonder what's taken over. Am I allowed to tell you what's taken over? All right, let's keep going. Fauci now says COVID-19 vaccine may become mandatory. There it is, January 19. Story at a glance. Now, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci, some institutions will undoubtedly require employees to be vaccinated, adding this quite possible the vaccine will be required for overseas travel. Okay, so there it is. The vaccine is still in experimental stage as they have not completed the stage 3 clinical trials yet. There it is right there. There it is right there. They admit it here, and they say it here. Now, this is an interesting one coming out of India. China builds a village in Arunachal Pradesh. MEA says India takes necessary measures to safeguard its sovereignty. Again, China's building up these villages in India. They've been doing it for the last decade now, and now it's becoming more and more apparent. Ankurajal Pradesh is in an Indian state, but China considers it in its territory. Again, China, now that you got Joe Biden as president, will not step in and interfere with China's meddling with the rest of the world. China has sanctioned Australia to death, but we do have some good news coming up about that. So there it is, a new village being built in India, and China says it's in their territory. And that's just how the cookie's going to crumble for the next 4 years. Barley, remember I mentioned Australia sanctions from China? Barley finds a home in Mexico as CBH sends first shipment from Western Australia. So Barley's making it to Mexico, and because despite the trade tensions with China and the massive tariff imposed on barley exports, there are some good signs for grain growers on international markets. Now, there you go, 35,000 ton of barley shipment leaves Albany for Mexico. New markets are emerging to take sting off China's tariff, and so new markets are emerging. Keep that in mind, guys, because that's what's going to happen. And the Russian trade ban will help Australian growers. So there it is, guys. Other countries will come forward and support Australia in this very devastating time. Now, Australia should not bend over to... No, Australia should not take a knee, should not bend over. So should tell China, the bully, and say, hey, you sanction us. We ain't giving you squat. Oh, we're flooding in China. We need the money. Ooh, this is new. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish this off. I'm getting a lot of people visit me, which is really good. U.S. asks Australia to scrap proposed laws to make Facebook, Google pay for news. So if you've been following us on this channel, you know what's happening with the U.S. and, with Australia using Facebook and Google to pay for news. So that is old news, but I thought I'd bring it up again. And let's end our transmission with Florida man. Florida man accused of trying to steal horses and riding them home, deputy says. Man wanted to set them free, according to deputies. There you go. There's our Florida man story. A Florida man is behind bars after deputies say he tried to free horses from a local ranch. Yeah, free horses, free. There he is right there. There's your Florida man. Guys, thanks for watching and joining, and thank you for showing me the show tips. I really appreciate it. We'll keep in touch. We'll see each other soon. And don't forget to set your reminders tonight for Market Talk. We'll see you then. God bless. Thank you.